got a few folks out, so they will want to watch. Feliz lunes, ¿cómo están todos? How's everybody?
Está bien.
Está
Bien?
bien. Yeah,
Bien.
Bien
yeah.
para
Yeah.
lunes. Good for Monday, yeah.
Sí.
Ok, a ver, bueno. Para que sepan, just so you know, because Scout's got that funny split with fall. This is the last class for the
Yes.
first half of fall session. So, just a reminder, we have no week of off
Week.
class in between. We start right into the next fall session right away next week. Okay. Todo bien, all good. Vale, vamos a practicar un poquito con shadowing, un poquito, just a little bit. We're going to finish up that last article, the last half of that article, the last third of that article with limpiar la gorra de béisbol. We're going to finish up with our gustar ideas. These are the independent things. It was on the last slide of our gustar and verbs like gustar kind of slide. And then we're going to take our little questions about the tengo novia. Do I have a girlfriend? Are very cute. Yeah, I listed a few questions.
Right.
Yeah, for the end of that video. It's quite cute video. And then we're
Cute
just going
video.
to do a lot of things that are really much more vocabulary oriented, little things to little tidbits to think about as you listen to people speak. Types of vocabulary twists, little alterations that you may hear people saying when they speak to you, and just to kind of help you go with the flow with some of those vocabulary ideas.
Can I make a comment? This is Sam. Can I make a comment?
Sí, claro.
The Juan videos, he talks too fast for me. I can't keep
Ah,
up with him. He runs on and on. And
he does run fast. Now, I want to ask you, Sam, he does speak quickly. I will give you that. Absolutely. Yeah, you are correct in that perception. Are you aware of where you can slow that down on YouTube?
I am not. No.
Okay. So let me show you where that happens. And,
Okay.
you know, it is good to know these things. And
I had to enlist my wife to help me. I had to bring
okay.
her in as a tutor to listen to him and then explain what the hell he's saying.
And yeah,
It's also
okay.
it's also good that the Espanol con Juan, he repeats everything about 8 times.
Eight
Yeah,
times. Yeah,
he
yeah.
does. Yes, yes. Believe it or not, because he seeks to make this amusing, uh, uh, he knows he knows the speed he speaks at. You know, he's aware of this, but that idea, that repetition of saying the same thing over and over
Mm-hmm.
is actually a technique that is used with this type of teaching method. It is a technique. Um, by the way, also being somewhat wacko is part of the technique as well.
Okay. All
When
right.
I did this type of teaching method with high school and with elementary, which was really essential for elementary kids. The stranger, the weirder, the odder the examples you use, the more people remember them.
Okay.
So,
I'm trying to picture what this class would be like if you, Marilyn, would go wackadoo on us like
someday we may actually do. So the technique is actually straight out a storytelling technique where, you know, you focus on 5 words and no more than 5 words every day. And you come back over and over to those 5 words and you use them in different ways and you question people on those 5 words in different ways. And the idea is the stranger the examples are, the better kids remember them.
Hmm.
So in other words, if you were teaching the word for no sé, if you were teaching the word for cup, you would probably employ a story, and you would say that the cat, who is the central character of this story, the cat ordered 50,000 coffee cups, which the kids would all go,
What?
no one does that. But they're going to remember that word for cup because of how many it is.
Ah,
So it's part of the technique. Okay. Let me show you, however, Sam, where you
yes.
look for that speed button. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm looking.
you know that the CC button is for
Yes,
subtitles.
I
Okay.
did that.
But there's a gear looking button next to it, and that is called settings.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
in that settings, it does have subtitles. It's got a bunch of stuff. And that list, by the way, depending on how the video is set up, may have more or
Right.
may have fewer or more
Options.
tabs. But right under the subtitles is playback speed. You see where I
Ah,
am on that?
yeah.
And when you click on that, here's normal, which is the
Right.
default. And where you want to set it for Juan is at 0.75.
Okay.
Now, I will guarantee you, you may think, wow, if I set it at 0.5, that will be even better. But no,
No,
no, no, it is not.
no, I probably not.
Because if you set it at 0.5, it will sound like it will be like the audio equivalent of pouring molasses out of a bottle.
Wow.
Okay? Entiendes? You
Okay.
understand.
7.5.
So
Very
set it
good.
at 0.75.
Okay.
And and I would say, take just a snippet of that. Try that out this
I
week.
will. Mhm.
And, it's probably going to work for you, I think.
Thank you.
It will help. De
Gracias.
nada. Ok, vale. Muy bien, muy bien. Ok, vamos a empezar. We're going to finish up our last third, really, of our shadowing. And I want to make sure I make this nice and big so it's really super easy to read on your screen. Okay. A ver. Lavado a mano. Bien, bien, bien. Ok. Oh, perdón. Compartir, share. Para que puedan ver, so you can see it. Does not help for me to
Right.
engrandecer it, enlarge it if you can't see it, does it? Ok. Vale. Aquí tenemos un subtítulo. Tenemos un subtítulo. We have a subtitle. See? Déjalo secar. Here is a little command because each little thing is a command. It says, hey, do this, do that, do this next. Yeah. Son los pasos. They are the steps. See?
Okay.
Cada subtítulo es un paso en el proceso de lavar la gorra de béisbol. Each subtitle is a little step in what you need to do. Déjalo secar, let it dry. Leave it to dry. See?
Uh-huh.
Dejar is to leave something aside, to leave something behind, to allow something to happen. Déjalo, let it. Let it dry. Okay, ¿quién quiere empezar? Who wants to start shadowing with me? Alguien, somebody.
I'll do it.
I would,
Sam?
but I can't find.
Yeah,
Picture.
let me start with Sam, see?
Okay.
Okay.
And we're only going to do segments here. Si dejas
Se deja,
que tu sombrero recién lavado,
say tu sombrero
recién,
recién lavado.
¿sí? Se seque al aire.
Se seque al aire.
Okay. Now here we got a long word. Acabará
Acabará
arrugado
arrugado.
y con un aspecto extraño.
Con un aspecto extraño.
Extraño. Bien, bien, bien.
Extraño.
¿Sí?
Okay.
Si dejas, if you leave your recently washed cap to dry out in the air, it will turn out wrinkled or looking strange. Con un aspecto extraño, looking strange, looking weird. Okay. Una frase más, Sam. En lugar de eso,
En lugar de eso,
rellena el cuerpo del sombrero
relena el cuerpo del sombrero
con algo
con algo
para que se seque
para que se seque
con la forma adecuada.
con la forma adecuada.
Okay, and now we're going to list the examples. Puedes usar una lata de café,
Puedes usar una lata de café,
una toalla enrollada,
una toalla what is that?
enrollada,
Enrollada,
¿sí? Un melón
un melón
o cualquier cosa
o cualquier cosa.
que tenga forma redondeada.
One minute.
Yeah, let's just look at que tenga forma
Que tenga forma
redondeada.
redondeada.
Bien,
That was
bien.
good.
Okay. And you know what? I apologize. I think I started a little bit too high up there.
Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Bien. Okay.
So what does that mean?
Okay. So they're going to tell us what to do if your cap's all wrinkly, right?
Right.
Rellena. You have chile relleno, right? Those are
Right.
stuffed chilies. So stuff the body of the hat, so the main part where your head goes, right? With something so that it may dry out in the right form. You can use a coffee can, a rolled up towel, a melon, or anything. Cualquier cosa means any old thing. Cualquier means any at all.
Okay.
Okay. Anything at all that might have a rounded shape.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So you're substituting something to fit, stuff the hat where your head would
Right.
be, right?
Right. Mhm.
Ok, vale, bien. Y otro subtítulo, si es necesario, if it's necessary, si es necesario, vuelva atrás para tratar las manchas más graves. Vuelva atrás means go backwards, go back to treat the worst stains. Okay.
Thanks.
Tratar often means to try to, but here it means to treat, meaning you're doing a second try, right? Okay. Vale. ¿Quién? Who's next? Próxima.
I'll do it, Jean.
Okay, Jean, bien. ¿Aún ves manchas
Aún ves manchas
en tu sombrero?
en tu sombrero.
Do you still see stains on your hat? Es hora de usar
Es hora de usar
el detergente en polvo
el detergente en polvo
para ropa Tide Ultra Oxy
para ropa Tide Ultra Oxy
o cualquier otro blanqueador
o cualquier otro blanqueador
con oxígeno
con oxígeno
En polvo.
en polvo.
Bien. It's time. It's the hour too. But when you say it's time to do something, es hora. It's the time. Yeah. It's time to use a powder. Polvo is dust. But when we use polvo with detergente, it's powdered detergent. Okay. Powdered detergent. And they give you the brand name. It's the Tide Oxy thing, right? See? And here we got that cualquier word again. Cualquier paired up with otro means any other kind, right? Any other kind of whitener. Yeah. With oxygenized powder. Yeah. Sí. Bien, bien. Otra persona, por favor.
I'll give it a whirl.
Ok, vale, magnífico.
I don't have my
Mezcla
view.
una cucharadita.
Mezcla una cucharadita.
Bien. De Tide Ultra Oxy
The Tide Ultra Oxy
con una cucharadita
con una cucharadita
de agua.
de agua.
Ok. Una frase más. One more sentence.
Okay.
Con un hisopo
Con un hisopo
de algodón.
de algodón.
Algodón, sí. Prueba la mezcla
Rebla la mezcla
en una zona
en una zona
poco visible
poco visible
de la gorra
de la gorra
para asegurarte
para asegurarte
de que no causara
de que no causará
ningún daño.
ningún daño.
Okay. Mix and notice this word cucharadita.
Mhm.
Cucharadita. You're going to see this later on in our lesson.
Right.
Cucharadita has a diminutive, ita. It makes the word cuchara smaller or a
Yeah.
thing
I
of
see
a
that.
lesser size. Cuchara is a spoon. Cucharadita is a
Teaspoon.
teaspoon.
Oh, okay.
Una cucharadita. Mix a teaspoon of Tide Ultra Oxy with a teaspoon of water. And this word hisopo is just a swab. And it tells you what the swab is made out of, the algodón.
Is that cotton or no?
Cotton swab.
Okay.
Yeah. When we tell what things are made out of, what materials it's made out of, if it's made out of wood, made out of metal, made out of cotton, made out of silk, made out of anything. We have to do that with de and then the material. De and then the material. In English, you'll say a cotton swab, a wool jacket, a silk blouse. But in Spanish, it has to be una camisa de seda, a silk blouse. Un hisopo, a swab, the little stick, yeah, with the thingy on the end, yeah. Un hisopo de algodón, a cotton swab. Okay, so with a cotton swab, and this word is test out. Test out the mixture in una zona poco visible. What would we say? In an area little visible.
Oh,
You would probably translate it that is in a not so noticeable area.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
right.
Yeah. In a
Sounds
small
sweet.
area that you don't see well.
Poco visible. All right.
See, of the hat, right? A little area that is not super visible with the hat. To assure yourself, to make sure that it will not cause any damage, okay? And I'll read our little nota here. Nota, el blanqueador con oxígeno no es adecuado para usar en lana. Notice whitener, oxygen whitener is not okay to use on wool. Lana es wool. So if you have a wool cap, don't use it there. Okay. Bueno, otro voluntario. Alguien nuevo. Somebody new.
I'll go.
Bien, bien, magnífico, Rebeca. Si todo parece
Si todo parece
estar bien,
estar bien,
aplica la mezcla
aplica la mezcla
con el hisopo
con el hisopo
de algodón
de algodón
directamente sobre
directamente sobre
las manchas difíciles.
las manchas difíciles.
Sí,
Difíciles.
difíciles, bien, difíciles. If everything looks okay, parece is seems. We might say if everything seems okay or if everything looks okay. Apply the mixture with the cotton swab directly onto the difficult stains, the hard stains. Si necesitas
Si necesitas
más quitamanchas,
más quitamanchas,
comienza con una
comienza con una
cucharada, bien, sí, de detergente
detergente
y agrega, momento,
uh-oh,
y agrega agua
y agrega agua
lentamente
lentamente
hasta alcanzar
hasta alcanzar
la consistencia deseada.
la consistencia
Deseada, deseada, deseada,
deseada.
deseada es desired. Okay. If you need more stain remover, and the word for stain remover combines the verb quitar, take away, with the word for stain, manchas.
Mancha.
Take away stains. Stain remover, the thing that is a stain remover, is quita manchas. It takes away stains. See, if you need more stain remover, begin with a a tablespoon. The cucharadita is a teaspoon. It makes it
Teaspoon, right.
smaller, but cucharada is a bigger size. It is a tablespoon, a tablespoon of detergent, and agrega agua, add water. And you do it in what way?
Slowly.
Slowly. Yeah, this is our mente is that slowly, lentamente. And add water slowly until you reach, alcanzar is to reach, until you reach the desired consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah, see, bien. Okay. And here we've got a command, déjalo, let it. And
Déjalo.
déjalo reposar, let it
So,
rest. Yeah, this is repose, which we usually use to talk about dead people. But yeah, this repose let it set. Let it sit there. That's reposar. Let it sit there. They talk about reposar too, to talk about dough. If you leave dough aside so that it will rest and rise, like you have a leavening agent, they use that word reposar in recipe directions quite a lot. Let it rest. Déjalo reposar sobre la tela durante 5 minutos on its fabric. Let it sit on the fabric. Yeah.
Right.
Lo is talking about the detergente. Let it sit there on the fabric. 5 minutos, 5 minutes. Antes de enjuagar bien el sombrero, before rinsing the hat well. And here bien is well. Enjuagar es rinse before rinsing or soaking it well. Okay. Cosas que se deben evitar. Things that should be avoided. Things that should be avoided. ¿Quién? Who wants to take a turn? Rebecca, hiciste bien. You did well. ¿Quién? Anybody want to take a turn? Alguien. Cindy? Si quieres. Bien.
Okay.
No laves tu gorro
No laves tu gorro
en lavavajillas.
en lavavajillas.
Sí.
Lavavajillas.
That's a hard word. It's another put together word. Like quitamanchas is a put together word. This puts together lavar and vajillas.
Lavar.
Okay. Lavavajillas.
Lavavajillas.
Lavavajillas. You got a tough word there, Cindy. Don't wash your hat in the dishwasher. Lavavajillas is one of the words for dishwasher.
Dishwasher.
Okay. Some regions use lavaplatos, but some use lavavajillas because vajillas, the part after lava, vajillas is just all the stuff you use for setting the table. Your plates, your cups, your silverware, all that stuff is the vajillas. So lavavajillas is your dishwasher. Okay. Quizás hayas oído
Quizás hayas oído
que esto es posible.
que esto es posible.
Perhaps you've heard that this is possible. También puedes cocinar salmón
También puedes conizar salmón
en el lavavajillas,
en el lavavajillas,
pero eso no significa
pero eso no significa
que debas hacerlo.
que debas hacerlo.
You could have also cooked salmon in the dishwasher, but that doesn't mean you should do it. Okay. Little tongue in cheek. Bien. ¿Alguien más? Anybody else want to take a quick turn?
I can.
Bien, gracias, Danita. Si su sombrero tiene estructura,
Si su sombrero tiene estructura,
ribetes,
ribetes,
o es simplemente here's a tough one. Irreemplazable.
o es simplemente
Seguramente
Yeah, sí.
piensas que
siga las
el verbo estar se usa para
perdón.
localizar
I'm sorry,
algo.
something started.
Por ejemplo,
Let me.
no lo sé.
I hear Juan.
You hear Juan.
I
He
did.
turned himself on mysteriously.
He's just waiting his turn.
Todavía still.
I'm sure he can do better than I can. I'll sit out.
I've got to nix that totally. Okay. Now we took that totally off, so we're not going to hear that anymore. Ni una palabra más. Not even once. Guy. Sometimes my stuff it's the gremlins. The gremlins of the internet. Okay. Perdón. Let's try this again. After irreemplazable, okay? Siga las instrucciones.
I can't.
We don't have the screen. We can't
Oh,
see it.
perdón.
Share.
No.
Gracias.
Screen time. Share the screen.
Sí. Bien.
There you
Siga
go.
las instrucciones
Siga las instrucciones
anteriores
anteriores
y lávelo a mano.
y lávelo a mano.
See, if your hat has structure, rebetes are like any kind of trim, like stuff hanging around the edge, see, or is simply irreplaceable. Follow the previous instructions and wash it by hand. Pero si está decidida, pero si está decidida, perdón,
Pero si está decidida
a utilizar una lavadora,
A utilizar una lavadora.
Asegúrese
Asegúrese
de colocar
de colocar
el sombrero
el sombrero
en una bolsa de malla
en una bolsa de malla
y lavarlo en un ciclo suave.
y lavarlo en un ciclo suave
O delicado,
o delicado
con agua fría.
con agua fría.
Bien, sí.
Allora,
If you're absolutely set on, if you're deciding on using a washer, yeah, asegúrese means make sure, yeah. Make sure to place the hat in a mesh bag. Una bolsa de malla is a mesh bag. And wash it in un ciclo suave. You can guess what that means.
In a gentle cycle.
On a gentle or delicate setting
Delicate.
with
Gentle.
cold water. Bien, bien, maravilloso, maravilloso. Okay. Alguien más? Anybody else want to finish up? We've just got this one little bit here. Un poquito más. Bien, bueno, Julie, ¿sí? Algunas gorras de béisbol
Algunas gorras de béisbol
no son aptas
no son aptas
para el tipo de limpieza
para el tipo de limpieza
que recomendamos aquí.
que recomendamos aquí.
Las gorras vintage,
Las gorras vintage
no creo que se pronuncia vintage, vintage, o de estilo vintage,
o de estilo vintage,
como las de Ebbett Fields Flannels. ¿Ya sabes qué es eso, Mark? Do you know that one? Sí.
Well, I'm sure it's a brand, but there's, I mean, Ebbets Field is where the Dodgers played in Brooklyn.
long time ago.
Okay, okay. Suelen tener
suelen tener
un visera suave
una visera suave
que puede degradarse
que puede degradarse
al mojarse
al mojarse
y secarse
y secarse
con una forma incorrecta.
con una forma incorrecta.
Imagino, I imagine this is about items that are like super old, right? Something that's vintage, meaning it goes back a long way. Some baseball caps are not suited for this type of cleaning that we recommend here, like vintage caps that have a soft bill. Yeah. Bisera is the bill, the front part that sticks out. Yeah. That can break down when you're getting it wet and drying it in the incorrect form. Okay. Para este tipo de gorras,
Para este tipo de gorras,
la limpieza en seco.
la limpieza en seco.
For this type of cap, dry cleaning, yeah. O una limpieza localizada muy suave.
O una limpieza localizada muy suave.
Or just an area cleaning, a very soft area cleaning. Absorbiendo cualquier líquido.
Absorbiendo cualquier líquido.
Absorbing any liquid at all. Es la mejor opción.
Es la mejor opción.
Bien. Bien. Listo. Okay. Hicieron bien. You guys did well. Y concluimos con...
So, Marilyn, just a question about that. So
sí.
I appreciate the shadowing, but like, am I supposed to know a lot of those words? Because I don't.
You don't know all of those words. No, that's why I do a quick translation for you.
Yeah, right. I think that's what I figured. If I had to read that on my own, I would have to look up a lot of the words. I mean, some of the verbs are familiar. Right. Obviously, the repetition, I remember something from higher up in the
lavavajillas, you would have to look up. Asegurarte, you would have to look up. Yeah. Words like that. That's why I do a
explanation.
Little short translate after that.
Okay.
Sí, por eso.
Yep.
For that reason.
Okay.
It is done only for you to work on pronunciation from what you see and what you hear.
Yeah.
Nada más, nothing else other than that. Sí, bien.
I think it does help me read it out loud, but I don't. And your translation helps me understand what it says.
Reading it, yeah.
I can read a lot of things out loud, but I have no idea what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right?
That was not meant for you to understand every word, but for you to practice the sounds you hear.
Okay.
Because those vowels are so core. And really, the shadowing is usually to work on those vowels.
Okay.
So Marilyn, Sam, I have a question. Is that section that we just covered in the document that you sent us a couple of sessions ago to screen?
That article?
Yes.
That's the same one. If you
Same
want
one.
to link to it again, I can send it again.
No. I think I have it. I'll just open it up
Sí,
again.
sí. Es el mismo artículo. It's the very same
Great.
article. Sí. Bien. Okay. Vamos adelante. Let's go on a little bit further here. We're going to share something else, but this will be non-moving. We're going to step up one little, one step back to remember where we are. And these are either the verb gustar or verbs that act like gustar. Okay. And this is the very last slide, which we did not get to last week. So we're going to tie this up with a bow, kind of finish it up. Verbs that act like gustar. That means we don't use them generally most of the time for yo, tú, nosotros. For those three conjugations, we don't use them so much. But these are verbs that we use just in the singular and plural. And it has a little pronoun in front of it to tell who receives that action, right? So me gusta or me gustan, te gusta or te gustan, le gusta or le gustan, nos gusta or nos gustan, les gusta or les gustan, right? And the verbs that behave like gustar, and there are many, many. So when you hear someone use them and it's a new one you've not heard before, just so that, it will sound maybe a little odd to you that somebody is not using a yo, tú, or nosotros conjugation. That means it's a verb that acts like gustar because there are many of them. And if I gave you a long list, I would surely leave something off the list inadvertently because there are so many of them that do that. But other verbs that will behave like that will be interesar, to interest somebody, to be interesting to somebody, right? Interesa or interesan. Encantar, which is just bumping up, magnifying gustar, which becomes encanta or encantan, right? Importar, which means something is matters, it is important to somebody. Importa or importan. Molestar, to bother, to annoy, to bug somebody. Yeah. Either molesta or molestan. The favorite 15-year-old term, it does not mean what it looks like. Yes. And we'll stick a little me or a te or a le or a les or a nos. And that tells who receives that action, right? Yeah. Something bugs, annoys somebody. The somebody is the me, te, le, les, or nos, right? If something matters to somebody, that to somebody idea is the me, te, le, les, or nos, etc. And there are a lot of verbs that do this. Sometimes even the simple verb dar, to give, is used this way sometimes. So there are a ton of verbs that do this. Even parecer does this sometimes, and to talk about liking a person, that happens sometimes. So, but these are the ones we're focusing. These are the ones we're focusing on. Very, very common ones: interesar, encantar, importar, molestar, and of course, gustar, which you've seen forever and ever. And we left off with this last idea. Y voy a engrandecer. I'm going to make this bigger para que puedan ver. See, we're going to now, and this is like total free form, total free form. Yeah. Little extra step. I want you to think about things or a thing or an activity. It could be an activity that you like, you love, you're interested in, it matters to you, it makes you crazy, hate it, whatever, lo que sea, whatever it is, right? So, algunos ejemplos, right? Here I use it with an activity. The activity is hacer ejercicio. Me encanta hacer ejercicio. I love exercising. That's an activity. So it's encanta, singular. Me encanta hacer ejercicio en el otoño. And I just add on when. En el otoño. Me encanta hacer ejercicio en el otoño. I love to exercise. I love to work out in the fall. See? But I need to switch this me encanta into a plural form, me encantan, if I talk about objects that are more than one. So here's just an off-the-wall idea. Me encantan los adornos de Halloween. I love Halloween decorations. Me encantan los adornos de Halloween. See? If something I don't care about is just one thing, like el fútbol, soccer, right? No me importa mucho el fútbol. I don't care much about
Football.
Soccer.
I don't care about soccer so much. Yeah. And importa there is singular, because we're talking about one sport, el fútbol, right? If I'm talking about doing something, una actividad, it goes to singular. Me gusta. Me gusta jugar con los niños. I like playing with little kids. Me gusta jugar con los niños. I'm not saying I like little kids. I'm saying I like to play with little kids.
Right.
Okay, I like to get down on the floor with them and play blocks or puzzles or lo que sea, whatever, lo que sea. Me gusta jugar con los niños, right? And this one is kind of a special thing. If I like that you do something, it needs a subjunctive. So I would say, stay away from that. But otros ideas, any other little ideas, any other ideas that you've got using encantar, importar, molestar.
No.
Something you love, something that matters to you, it's important to you, something you're interested in. And I think I
Mi
may.
familia.
Oh, no,
Me,
continúa.
me family. I'm lost on my second word there. So
That's
sorry
okay.
about that. Also, me Pedro's and the familia.
Okay. So, back up just a teeny tiny bit.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to find my right. There it is. There it is. So that you're reminded of which verbs we're using. Back up a little bit. Start that off for me again.
Okay. No, I guess
We need to start off with a little pronoun
a little pronoun.
that tells who is interested or who it
Me.
matters to or who loves something.
All
And
right.
that little pronoun tells you who.
I'm thinking me, M-E.
Then you want me.
Okay. Me. Encanto.
But not encanto, because now here's why we don't want me encanto. So let's think about this a little bit. Me encanto would mean encanto, I am enchanting to myself. And you should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But Me encanto will get a very quizzical look if you say that to somebody because they're like, okay. Yeah. So this is why we don't conjugate it for yo. Yeah. So you're thinking me, I need a
yes.
yo conjugation, but you don't.
All right.
So what are we going to change encanto into instead of encanto?
More.
Encanta.
Probably an encanta or it'll be an encantan, one of the two.
Oh, okay.
And whether it's encanta with an a at the end or encantan with an an at the end depends on the thing that you love.
Right. Okay. Los perros encantan. Or, encantan los perros. I can
There you go. Now you've got the right order.
Okay.
Otra vez, one more time. Una vez más.
All right. Encantan los perros.
Me encantan los perros.
Okay. I love to walk my dogs, or I love to just be
those are two different things. Let's look at
Oh,
that.
oh.
Me encantan los perros. I love dogs.
Oh, encantan los perros.
I love dogs. But now let's say you want to change it and you want to say, I love walking the dogs. And now the focus is not on the dogs, but rather the action of
Me.
walking.
Walking.
Walking, yes.
And walking your dogs is not really going to be necessarily caminar. It's going to be pasear. Pasear.
Pasear.
So now for pasear, porque es actividad, because it's an activity, yeah, it won't be like los perros more than one. All activities are just singular. So instead of me encantan los perros, correct. Instead, we're going to put in pasear. So, me
pasear.
Now we need our love word. Me.
Okay. Me. Me.
We need the enchanted word.
Me enchant. So I don't know.
Encanta.
Encanta.
Me encanta. So try that again. Me encanta.
Me encanta.
Pasear.
Pasear.
Con los perros.
Con
los perros.
Con los perros.
Ok. Una vez más, one more time. Me encanta pasear.
Me encantan pasear.
Me encanta pasear.
Me encantar. Okay, me encantar mis perros.
Pasear con los perros.
Paseros con los perros.
So you want to think in a chunk.
Yeah.
Me encanta pasear. I love walking. Me encanta pasear. And now we just tag on con los perros.
Okay.
You want to think in a chunk. Me encantan los perros because dogs are more than one. Me encantan.
Encantan los
But we change it. We knock off. We get rid of the N from encantan. When we talk about walking, me encanta pasear.
Me encantan pasear.
Me encanta pasear con los perros. Okay? Bien? It's very brave to go first. Okay. Bien. Bien. Let's try another. Otro ejemplo. Another example.
I have one.
Sí, bien, Danita.
Me encanta sentarme afuera cuando hace buen clima.
Bien, sí. When it's nice weather. I love sitting outside. Me encanta sentarme. Me encanta sentarme afuera, outside. Me encanta sentarme en el jardín. Me encanta sentarme en el parque. ¿Sí? Cuando hace buen clima, cuando hace buen tiempo. Two ways of saying is good weather. Bien, magnífico. Otra idea. Otra
I'll
idea.
go. I'll go.
Bien.
Um, Me molesta cuando mi hija hace un desastre.
Okay. And again, it'll be a little different when you like that somebody does something. That does the funky thing.
Is this when there's an hacer?
This
Like it
is,
gets a little weird? Or
yeah,
is it when there's a win?
yeah. Check this out. Me gusta cuando me digas la verdad. I like it when you tell me the truth. Let's put in maybe something a little more chatty. Let's make it a joke instead. Me gusta cuando me digas una broma. I like it when you tell me a joke. If we switch like into liking, not a thing, liking, not doing something, but liking that somebody else does something. You see this? I like that my kids do something. That next verb is going to do something else. Look how this is different, because it is, from this, even though they're both activities. When I like doing the activity, yeah, I like to get down on the floor and play with the kids. Yeah, it's different. It's a different structure in Spanish. This is just slap in the infinitive. Me gusta jugar con los niños. But if I like that somebody else does something, Spanish does something kind of weird and something that you should not expect that you have to even know.
Could we go over my example so I understand what the change
What the
like what it
change
is?
is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like
The change is that this verb won't do what normal present tense verbs do. It's going to use an opposite kind of ending. It sounds like it's a wrong conjugation. Let me give you another example right next to the jugar con los niños. Me gusta. And the reason this happens, just so you know, is that verbs of emotion and like gustar is an emotion. It's considered an emotion. Okay. Verbs of emotion, when they pertain to somebody else doing something, need
yeah.
that second verb to do something that's not just a plain old infinitive like this word jugar. So, and here's the other thing. Me gusta que. I like that. I like that my kids clean.
Okay.
I like that my kids uh, 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 clean the bathroom. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Me gusta que mis hijos, and you would think this should be limpian. Yeah? Shouldn't limpiar for hijos be limpian?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it? Yes, you should. A normal person would think that. Congratulations, you're normal. But here's what it does. Limpien. En is not an ending for an AR verb like limpiar.
Is it like a past tense?
It's called a subjunctive.
Okay.
Now, this only happens when I like that somebody else does something. Because it's a verb of emotion.
And that's the same for any of the verbs of emotion.
Yeah. It only
It
happens with
bothers me. It interests me.
it only happens with verbs of emotion. So encantar is going to be a verb of emotion. Gustar is going to be a verb of emotion. But the key is when I like that somebody else does something. If I'm talking about I like doing something myself, you see the difference?
Mhm.
I like doing it myself, just plain old infinitive by itself, not conjugated, is great, is what you should do. But if you want to put a different human being in the end of that with gustar, it needs to do that. Now, if you made that little mistake and you said limpian instead of limpien, somebody would get the general idea, okay, but they would say, this sounds a little off in their brain. It would sound a little wrong to them. Okay? Bien?
Okay.
Bien. Okay. Me gustan que mis hijos laven, otro ejemplo. Me gusta que mis hijos laven los platos. I like that my kids wash the dishes. Here's why this is different, Rebecca. I like that my kids might do this. They're not doing it right now. And when they're not actually doing it right now, Spanish uses a different thing for a different type of conjugation for that verb, and it's called the subjunctive. And it's not a past, it is a present, but it means it's not really happening. But you know what? If it were, I'd say, go for it, kids. I'd like that. Okay, so we want to kind of try to cubbyhole more of our examples to this. I like doing something myself.
Got it.
Just to make it an easier thing, because this is kind of a special structure. These things down here in blue are special structures, and they require something called a subjunctive, meaning a different kind of conjugation. And it's a little more complicated, yeah? See.
Right.
Okay, so we want to keep it to doing the activity ourselves.
Okay.
See?
Got it.
Okay. Bien. Otro ejemplo. Other example. Any others?
I have one.
Okay, vale. Magnífico.
Me interesa aprender a tocar el piano.
Me interesa aprender a tocar el piano. I'm interested in learning to play piano. Sí. It interests me learning to play piano. But notice, she's not interested in her kids learning piano. She wants to do the playing piano, right? So, yeah, me interesa aprender. I'm interested in learning. Me interesa aprender a tocar el piano, playing piano. Magnífico. Sí, bien. Otra cosa. Any other thing? Wide open. ¿Algo más? Sí, Julie.
Me molesta la ruiz en los restaurantes.
Okay. Molesta. Bothered. Annoyance. ¿Sí? Me molesta trabajar en el jardín durante el verano. It bothers me to work outside in the summertime. ¿Sí? Bien. Vale. Bien. Otro ejemplo. Any other example there? Oh, adelante. 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 Okay. Vale. Bien. Let's move on. We have a couple little examples. Uy, ¿dónde están? Bien. Sí. Al fin. Aquí al fin. Here at the end. We're rotating back into the information from Juan. See? See?
He found his girlfriend.
Tiene novia. Does he have a girlfriend? See? I asked you to listen to the last few minutes here. ¿Qué piensa Carlos de la novia? What does his buddy think about his girlfriend? Alguien, sí, Julie.
Carlos piensa que la novia de Juan deba española, no italiana.
Ok, bien. ¿Algo más o no? ¿Sí? ¿Qué puedes decir de la novia de Juan? What can you say about his girlfriend? Describe. Describe.
Su novia es una mujer tan, well, according to him, tan guapa,
Tan
morena.
guapa.
Yeah, tan guapa. Morena es muy joven.
Sí. Más joven que él. Younger than he is. ¿Sí?
Sí,
Eso.
sí.
Ok. Sí. Bien. Bien. Ah, ah, hmm. Ah, ¿y de dónde es la novia de Juan? ¿De dónde es?
Okay.
Italia,
¿De qué país?
Italia.
Italia.
Es de Italia, sí. Y, ¿cuántos idiomas? How many languages? ¿Cuántos idiomas habla la novia de Juan?
Oh,
Tres.
sí, no, okay.
Tres, sí, habla inglés,
Inglés,
Yo,
italiano,
Italiano.
and a poco de alemán.
un poco de alemán y un poco de español también tú.
Right.
Huele. Ella dice que tres, sí, que ella habla muy poco alemán. She only speaks a tiny bit of German. Ok, hay otra descripción. Es una, bueno, ¿les parece? Does she seem to you? ¿Les parece una persona agradable? ¿Le parece una persona agradable?
sí.
Agradable es agreeable.
Yeah.
Sí.
Agradable.
Sí,
Yeah,
es
sí.
agradable.
Isn't it amigable, friendly?
Amigable es friendly, sí.
Yeah. Sí.
Sí.
Ella es amigable.
Amigable, friendly is very close in quality to agradable. Agradable es como agreeable, easy to get along with. Amigable and agradable are both described kind of the same sort of quality, yeah? See? Bien. Uh, Agradable, agreeable, nice, friendly. Sí, muy simpática. Simpática. Me parece simpática. Me parece simpática. Bien. Ok. Ah, bueno. Vale. ¿Algo más o no? These were short snippets. Bien.
Bien.
Sí, Julie.
No quiere casarse con Juan.
Ah, no quiere casarse con... Sí, y no sabemos por qué. No sabemos por qué, pero no quiere casarse con Juan. She doesn't want to get married. Así es, ¿sí? Es... ah, según, según lo que veo en YouTube, according to what I see on YouTube, con los españoles, with Spanish folks in general, sí, es más común casarse un poquito mayor. It's a little more common to actually get married a little bit older. Hoy en día, nowadays. Ah, pues, ok, a ver, y no sabemos por qué. We do not know why. Ok, a ver, vamos a hablar un poquito de diminutivos. Let's talk a little bit about diminutivos. I gave you a video to watch about diminutives. ¿sí? Fue fácil de entender. Was this an easy video to understand?
Sí.
Sí. Bien. Diminutivos. So what I want to do for our last segment here is spend a little bit of time with little changes, little tweaks, small minor changes that happen. You know, so many times we expect to hear a word said a certain way because we learn a certain word. We learn the word taza, taza. But then when somebody talks to you, they might say, ¿quieres una tacita? ¿Quieres una tacita? And instead of taza, they may say tacita. And these little tweaks, some of the little tweaks, might be in this family of ways we alter a word to use a diminutive. A diminutive does a number of things. It can make the word smaller in size. It can attach an idea of kind of the idea of affection. It can be an affectionate thing to add the little diminutive suffix. It's a little suffix. The most common diminutive you'll hear is ito, I-T-O. In other uh, in other regions where Spanish is spoken, it might become other things. Let me pull up our tab. So diminutives, the ones we're going to use today are the diminutive we are going to use is ito. But of course, it might be a feminine form, ita, right? It might be plural, itos. It might be plural, but feminine, itas. These little things are just suffixes. We stick them on the end of a word, and we stick them on the end of a noun, a thing. Yeah. And they potentially do a number of things. They're used for a number of purposes. It is used to make that thing seem more dear, show affection towards that thing or person. It is used to make that thing smaller, okay? It is used for, it can be stuck onto a number of words. And I'm going to pull up a brand new thing. Uy, no quiero. I don't want that screen. Eso no.
So Marilyn, this is Sam. I have a question.
Sí.
You brought up the word pasta, and that's part of I have a response to one of the questions. And when you do that, so let's say I have the word pasta and I add ITO at the end. Do I remove the A or do I leave the A?
Oh, here?
Yeah. So let's say I want to make it a small bowl of pasta.
Oh, okay. Sí. Bien. Let's talk about a bowl. Tazón. Tazón. Yeah, a bowl. Here's a bowl. Taza is a cup. Tazón is a bowl. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Because tazón ends in an N, this one's a little bit problematic. It would probably turn tazón, cito. Instead of just ito, it'd probably be a cito. Tazoncito.
Okay, small.
Tazoncito would be a little bowl.
A little bowl. Okay.
Let's pick something that's a really, really common use for ito and ita. Abuelo, grandpa.
Abuelito.
Abuelito.
Right.
Okay. And the reason tazón is a little unusual is it does not end in o, right?
Right.
In words that end in an O or an A, it's easy. Just take off the O or the A and add the ito onto the end. Okay. Abuelito is grandpa instead of grandfather. Abuelito is more, a little more affectionate. Yeah.
Mhm.
A little more colloquial. A little more grandkid talking to his grandpa. Yeah. Abuelito. Okay.
Yep. I know a family actually who shortens it even more and they call their grandparents Lito and Lita. From that,
Okay.
they just cut
Yeah,
off
see,
they cut off.
granny, grandpa,
Yeah.
gramps.
Mhm.
Yeah. There are all kinds of nicknames for, you may hear people using nicknames like papi as well for grandpa, but, abuelito is a
Mhm.
common one. It is very common for people, just in general, if they're talking about, little grannies out doing stuff. Las abuelitas, little old ladies, las abuelitas, yeah? But in an affectionate kind of way. We can tag this ito or ita onto a lot of names. All right, so Anna talked about, for her name, Anita is a common way of tagging the ita onto the end of Anna to make it kind of a nickname. Yeah. Uh, you hear this a lot, like with Juan, right? Juanito. Juanito, Johnny.
Johnny.
See? See?
Mhm.
Bien. So Ito and Ita are often tagged onto an actual name, a first name. Yeah, not a surname, but a first name of a person. So they serve that purpose. They serve to make the person, give them a little touch of endearment uh, to that person. They serve to make that thing smaller in size, like cuchara, a spoon, uh, cucharita. Oh, cucharita. See? Cucharita, a little teaspoon. It makes it smaller, right? Like taza would become tacita. Una tacita, ¿sí? Bien, tacita. I think that might change to a C. No estoy segura. Tacita, tacita. Z o C, no sé. Bien. So anyway, you get the idea. It makes something smaller. Perro, for a really small dog, like let's say you've got a breed that's just a small breed of dog.
Mhm.
Perrito, a small dog. Yeah.
Hmm. Bonito.
They're not a Great Dane or a German Shepherd, they're a Chihuahua. Un perrito. And perrito can carry the affectionate idea of doggy,
Mhm.
a little doggy. So it might mean they're small. It might mean that you're talking about your dog in an affectionate way, not that they're small, right? It depends on the
Mhm.
context of when you're talking to somebody. So let's see some examples of this. Marca is a brand, right? A brand. ¿Ah? Dime una marca de coche que es realmente un cochecito. Something that's really, truly a tiny car.
Un Cooper es realmente una
Un
coche.
Cooper, un Mini Cooper. Excelente, sí, un Mini Cooper. Es un cochecito, ¿sí? Cochecito. Somebody may use cochecito to say that they really love uh, their car, but probably not. They really mean a teeny tiny car. Ok, vale, bien. ¿Qué hacen los amiguitos o amiguitas? Little friends, little friends. ¿Qué hacen los amiguitos de tus hijos o los amiguitos de los nietos?
Where are we?
What do their little friends do?
Mhm.
I didn't answer that one.
¿Algo? ¿No? Los amiguitos, por ejemplo, amiguitos, they're little friends. Los amiguitos, or I'm going to say their little friends. I'm going to put a a their in front of it. Sus amiguitos vienen a jugar. They come to play. Sus amiguitos vienen a jugar. Por ejemplo, ¿sí? Y cuidado, careful, because amiguito can mean a little friend, yeah? But sometimes, depending on the context, amiguito can be kind of a pejorative. Oh, they're little friends with that attitude. But amiguitos would generally mean a very young, they're a little group of buddies. That would be amiguito, changing amigo into amiguito. ¿Ok? Por lo general, ¿qué hacen los perritos o los gatitos? ¿Qué hacen los perritos o los gatitos?
Okay. Los
Little
perritos.
dogs, little cats.
Los perritos o los gatos suelen jugar en doma.
Could you say los gatitos juegan con ratos? I don't remember what rats are, mice are.
Sí, sí, sí. Sí, ratones. Los gatitos
Juegan,
juegan
yeah, con
con los ratones. Sí, con los ratones, ¿sí? They play with mice. Sí,
Okay.
sí.
Los,
Los
los,
perritos juegan
Con el ratón.
con
perri-
ratones. Perritos con ratones, no.
los. Okay.
¿Juegan con qué? What do they play with, dogs?
with each other.
Each, con otros
One,
perros, sí.
Otro perro.
Sí, con las pelotas.
With the bulls.
Play with
Sí.
balls, play with balls, sí, sí. Bien, ok. Adelante. If we take,
Marilyn, I have a question.
sí, sí, sí.
With the diminutives, I've rented Spanish books to read to my daughter. And so there's one that's a big dog and little dog. And so for big dog, they use petazo. So for diminutives, does it also apply to animals or things that are bigger? Or are we only talking about like the little things, like a little house?
Is there a different one for big things?
Yeah.
There are, but they will vary a little bit more in their form than the ito. They will vary a little bit more. You know, some words, but not all. I'll give you this one that comes to mind, but it's not a nice word. I got to think of a word that is okay. Let me give you one idea. You know, I don't really hear perrón. On the end usually makes something bigger, usually, but that's not, it can't be used with all words. Ito can be used with a whole bunch of words. Un perro grande would be
They
maybe
use-
a little more common. But, por ejemplo, mujer is woman, right?
Right.
Words are
Okay.
yes.
Let me show you something which is actually not a compliment. Mujerón would be
A big woman.
Strong woman.
a big, chunky, a big woman. Like she's big physically, big. Mujerón. It's not really a compliment because it's not a dainty kind of word. Yeah. It's not an insult exactly, but yeah. Let me give you a better idea. Una caja. Here's a nicer example. Una caja. It's a box. Yeah.
Right.
Una caja. Un cajón. Un cajón is a
Big box.
big box. Big box. It can be a drawer that you pull out of like a dresser or a chest of drawers. A cajón is generally used as a drawer, but a cajón could also be a great big box, right? But if I change it into una cajita, it's
Small
a little box, a little
Ah,
teeny tiny box. Una
Right.
cajita. Una cajita para un anillo, like the size of a box for this thing. Para un anillo, ¿sí? Una cajita. Una cajita. A teeny tiny box. ¿Sí? Bien? Okay. So sometimes, your brain is used to this word, caja, box, but maybe you're not prepared for hearing cajita. We just want you to get used to, here are some diminutives you may hear people using. See? Bien. But you're right. There's an opposite, like a big size, but it's not as easy to apply as the ita thing. Hermanito, hermanita. Hermanito, hermanita would mean a
Little brother or sister.
little brother, somebody who's younger than you are. Yeah? See? ¿Tienes hermanito? ¿Alguien aquí tiene hermanito? No tengo hermanita. No tengo hermanito.
No.
Yo soy la menor. Yo soy la menor de la familia. I am the
Youngest.
youngest. Así que yo no tengo hermanita. Tengo hermana. But I would not say bigger sister by adding something on to the end, Rebecca. I would only say una hermana mayor, an older sister. Okay.
Right.
So that bigger idea is not as uniform as the ito ita is. Okay.
And they probably don't use it as much, correct?
I would say with a little less frequency. Yeah. But you will hear it from time to time. Okay. Aquí, ¿alguien tiene hermanito? ¿Hermanita?
No tengo.
¿Nadie? ¿No? Wow. Ok. ¿Y dónde vive? Nadie. Ok.
Tengo un hermanito.
Sí, tienes.
Yeah.
Bien,
Él,
dime.
él vive en Illinois. En Illinois. Él
Ok.
vive. Yeah.
Ok. Bien, magnífico. Ok. ¿Cuáles son los hábitos de de las abuelitas, de los abuelitos? What are some habits of grandmas and grandpas? ¿Cuáles son los hábitos?
I couldn't think of any.
Nada.
Nada.
Ay, a ver. Ok, por ejemplo, las abuelitas hacen galletas para los nietos, ¿no? Las abuelitas hacen galletas. They make galletas. Cookies. Hacen galletas. Sí, las abuelitas hacen galletas para los Nietos, ¿sí? ¿Sí? ¿Bien?
Ujú.
Bien.
Ok. ¿Hay más hábitos o no?
No.
No, nada. Ok. Bien. Otro. Ok. Café is coffee, or could mean a cup of coffee. See, it can also be a place where you drink coffee. Cafecito is a little cup of coffee. See, ¿cuál es tu lugar preferido para tomar un cafecito? ¿Cuál es tu lugar preferido para tomar un cafecito? ¿No tienes un lugar preferido para tomar un cafecito?
Espresso.
Mi lugar preferido es mi cocina.
Es tu cocina, magnífico, sí, bien. Mi lugar preferido para tomar un cafecito es mi patio. Es mi patio por la mañana, ¿sí?
Sí.
Bueno, ah, bien. Adelante, adelante. ¿Cuáles son tus animalitos favoritos? Tus animalitos favoritos.
Jaguars.
¿Los
Un
perros?
gato. Un gato. ah, jaguar.
Ok, bien. Ah, bien. ¿Qué más? Any others? Nada. Bien. Ah, los pájaros, birds. Los pájaros son mis animalitos favoritos.
Ujú.
Y los lagartos, little lizards, sí. Los lagartos son mis animalitos favoritos, sí. Ah, ¿hay actividades populares para los viejos? Any activities that are popular for little old people? Little old people, viejitos, los viejitos.
Montar bicicleta.
Dormir.
Dormir. Dormir es popular para los viejitos. Ah, sleeping is popular for little old folks. Ay, sí, qué bueno, ¿qué más?
Una actividad popular para las viejitas es jugar mahjong.
Ah, es jugar mahjong. Ah, bien, bien, bien. Otra actividad popular. Ay, el pickleball es popular con los viejitos, ¿no?
Sí,
El
sí.
pickleball es popular con los
Oh.
viejitos. Ay, sí. Qué bien, qué bien. Hay otra actividad, otra.
Mirar la televisión.
Mirar la televisión, ver la televisión, sí es
Sí.
popular con los viejitos, sí, sí. Bueno, a ver, bien, bien, adelante. I want to fit in just a couple more, un poquito más, ¿sí? ¿Quién es una persona muy bajita en tu familia? Mi hermana mayor, older. Mi hermana mayor es la bajita de mi familia. She's the little short one. Bajita, the
Ah,
shorty in the family. Decimos shorty en inglés, ¿no?
sí.
¿Sí?
Mm.
Una persona muy bajita en tu familia. ¿Hay
Mi,
alguien?
mi niña es muy bajita en mi familia.
Mi niña es
Niña.
muy bajita. Bien, bien.
Ujú.
Okay.
Ah, ok. ¿Alguien más? And sometimes this word chico, besides meaning boy, can also mean little in size. So here is what happens. We take chico. Chiquitito means
Tiny.
teeny tiny.
Tiny.
Teeny tiny. Yeah. Something minor. Something minor. So somebody might take the word chico, not meaning boy, but meaning small in size. See? Una camisa chica is a small size shirt. So if we take chico and turn it chiquitito, ¿cuál es un problema chiquitito que tienes? Un problema chiquitito. A teeny tiny problem.
We don't have any.
Like,
Un problema un problema chiquitito que tengo es
no tengo café.
es que no tengo café. I have no coffee. Sí.
That's a problem.
Sí.
Yes, for some.
Es-
For me.
para algunas personas es para algunos es gran problema. Sí, depende, kind of depends. See, depende. So these little ito words, because we're kind of running out of time, and I know some people may have to go, so we're not getting to all these, but I just want to show you how these get used. Sometimes this idea of solo, which means alone, sometimes people will turn it into this affection idea of solito or solita to say all alone, all by my little lonesome self. ¿Sí? ¿Qué haces cuando estás solita? What do you do when you're all by your lonesome? ¿Sí? Cuando estoy solita, when I'm all by myself, cuando estoy solita, leo un libro. When I'm all by myself, I read a book. ¿Sí?
Sí.
Cuando estoy solita, como chocolates. Cuando estoy muy solita, como chocolates. ¿Sí? Los chocolates para los niños en Halloween, los como. I eat them. Los como. Cuando estoy solita, when I'm just by my lonesome. ¿Sí? You might hear people turn this word un rato, a short while, into a teeny tiny short while. Un ratito.
Un
¿Sí?
ratito.
¿Cuál es una tarea que tarda solo un ratito? What's a job that takes just a teeny short while? ¿Sí? Por ejemplo, cambiar el rollo de papel higiénico, changing the toilet paper, cambiar el rollo de papel higiénico tarda un ratito. It just takes a little bit of time. ¿Sí? ¿Sí? Hacer una taza de café tarda un ratito. Just takes a little while.
Right.
¿Sí? Ponerme, maquillarme, putting on my makeup, ¿sí? Tarda un ratito. Tarda un ratito. It just takes a little while. ¿Sí? Bien? And even words that get used with ito and ita often are ahorita, which generally means right away. Ahora means now, but ahorita is really, well, to be honest with you, ahorita can mean right away, and ahorita can also mean like it may never happen at all. In Mexican Spanish, it's an odd kind of word. Depends on the context you're talking in, but ahorita generally right away. And poco, a little bit, can become poquito, which means just a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, poquito.
Chocolate.
Sí, los fines de semana trabajo un poquito. Los fines de semana on weekends trabajo un poquito.
Activity.
¿Sí? I work just a little bit. ¿Sí? Limpio un poquito. I clean a little bit. Así, like that. Okay? Bien? Okay.
Yeah.
I am not going to give homework this week because we have new people potentially coming in for the next group.
Okay.
And I don't give people homework ahead of first class.
Vacation.
So I do not have a homework assignment for the coming week because it'll be brand new and it'll be super easy level just so that I get a feel for people starting up. And we're probably going to use some things with pictures to give people easy prompts para que sepan, just so you know. Y bueno, eso sí es todo. That's it for today. Es todo para hoy. ¿Bien?
Sure. Yeah.
¿Vale?
I have a quick question, Marilyn, but I can
Sí, dime.
let others drop off if you want. My question is just so I get confused, and I don't know if you did this before in Spanish 1 or if it's something that you are going to do with us, is this and these, that and those.
Oh,
I get those mixed up a lot.
Okay, sure.
And then just a refresher on when to use a star or ser, right? To be
actually, I have something already in the tank for
a stair.
estar en ser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah,
I've got a couple things in the tank.
Okay, good.
And yeah, we can do both of those.
Okay.
We can do both.
That would be helpful. I practice using Duolingo, and I find when I'm doing it, those are the things I miss a lot, right? And I don't pay for the extra Duolingo subscription to explain to me why I'm getting it wrong. So
yeah, but this and these, that and those are there's an easy way to tell them apart.
Yeah.
Vale la pena practicar. It's worth it to practice a little bit. With the this and these, that, and those words. We'll make sure we work on that. Maybe not the very first session, but we will.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't know if you had already done it. And then when I came in, you know, whatever. But so, yeah.
I've done it. But you know what? The thing is, it's always a great thing to recycle, bring back in old ideas and do them again.
Sure.
Because
that's
we don't remember all of these clearly. And yeah, it's a great thing to review. And I enjoy getting topics from people. So
sure, that would be great.
Vale la pena. Worth it.
Yep. Thank you.